been working with Beanox Games 4 or 5 years now on Spider-Man titles. And the last 2 games that they did for us were more comic book based. And when the movie came up, what was exciting about the opportunity to do a movie tie-in game was that Marvel and Sony were rebooting the whole Spider-Man universe with this movie. So of course that meant that we could also reboot the Spider-Man license and do some fresh things that had never been tried before in a Spider-Man game, bring back some old elements that fans have been asking for a little while, and really bring a whole fresh new approach to Spider-Man as a character in a video game. The work we did on Amazing Spider-Man started with the whole rebuild of their game engine. And what that led to was a whole reworking of the combat system, the camera system, obviously creating a streaming open world environment was a first time for Beanox, as the previous games had been more of a level based. And one of the really cool mechanics that we introduced for the first time is something that we call the web rush, is the ability to perceive and react to actions in your environment the way a superhero would. It's a superhuman ability. And with web rush, not only can you navigate more precisely and carefully and quickly through the world, but you can also anticipate the actions of your enemies. You can determine whether an enemy poses an immediate threat to you, or whether you can sneak attack the enemy, perform a stealth function on that enemy, interact with different objects in the world. It's a contextual-based system, and it's brand new for Spider-Man. So this is an epilogue, if you will, to the movie. So what's cool about that is not only do we get to sort of carry on the themes and continue developing the characters that are introduced in the film, we also get to introduce brand new characters that you won't see in the movie, but are definitely part of the Spider-Man universe, that are inspired from many of the classic characters from the Marvel universe of Spider-Man. Manhattan is, we refer to it as Spider-Man's playground. And there's just a ton of different activities that Spider-Man can do. In the game, he's got this really cool device called an Ozphone, Oscorp, telephone, Ozphone, that he uses. It's a smartphone, but obviously much more than that. And what he can do is actually track crime in the city with that phone, see different events happening. So not only will it lead him to sort of those more story-driven, those narrative-driven moments that are going to push the story forward, but then there's all the side content. So there are collectibles. We're talking in the hundreds. You got things like bank heists, car chases, street thuggings. One of the cool things that we just announced this week, in fact, with Marvel, was a new feature where they are actually including part of their digital reader for comic books in our game, where fans can actually find scattered comic book pages in the world and piece together entire issues of Spider-Man comic books. There is a ton of activities going on in the Manhattan world that you can engage in that are completely optional. So, depending on the way you like to play, you may finish up the story quickly, or push right through the story and then tackle all those events in the world, or you may kind of do a balancing of the two. It's really up to the player, but there is definitely a ton to do once you've completed the story. The game comes out on June 26th for North America, June 29th the rest of the world. All the major platforms: PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Nintendo Wii, 3DS, NDS.